Hi, I'm Jesse. I'm an American accent coach, and I'm here to answer any questions that you guys have. So I'm here on YouTube. If you have any questions, YouTube has priority. So feel free to ask any questions. If you're watching on TikTok, between each question, I'll be checking my TikTok. So feel free to say hi and where you are tuning in from. So, first off, I just would like to put a disclaimer out there. Accents are not bad. It is not bad to have an accent. Everyone has an accent. I have an accent. You have an accent. The accent that I have is more of a general American accent. And a lot of immigrants who come to Canada or who come to the United States, sometimes, not always, would like to acquire more of an American accent. So, that's what I help people with. And in this live, I'm going to be answering any questions you guys have about learning English, improving your pronunciation, and reducing your foreign accent. So, first off, I would like to talk about this question. Um, can I improve my accent? Will there be a noticeable difference after 12 or 10 to 12 weeks? So, for those who know, you can work with me just, once in a while. Or you can have a 10 to 12 week program with me. And the question I will get is, will I notice a difference after the 10 to 12 weeks? So there are some students that when I meet with them, when I have a little consultation, I will tell them with your accent, there may not be that much of a noticeable difference. That's when you're at the end. And there's some that I'm like, yes, I know for sure. If you put in the work, if you practice, your accent you'll see the difference. So I have a little graph that I'm going to share with you guys. Um, so up here, this is when your accent sounds really American. So accent is like, wow, if that is your goal. And then down here, it's when you have a really, really foreign accent. I don't know if you can see that on there. Yes, you can. Um, I'm gonna put a sad face just because that's what people might feel. And, they may not be understood because their accent might be so thick. Then I feel like there's this kind of curve. If you're an accent coach, please comment on this. Tell me what you think. Um, but wait, wait. Okay, so here, if you start accent training when you have a really thick accent, within 10 to 12 weeks, you're gonna see a huge difference, right? Whereas if you've already mastered a lot of the sounds, you're very understandable, but there's something a little bit off, you may see less of a difference if you've already come to a point where your accent is really good. So I feel like near the end, your accent progresses and gets better, like, not as fast. So for example, let's say you're a Spanish speaker and your J sound, j j j, and your Y sound, are confused. You use one or the other or a mix of both. That will create a lot of confusion. So I'll do this for TikTok so they can see it. This will create a lot of confusion where you can't really be understood as clearly. So just by fixing those 2 sounds, whoop, that's gonna make a huge, huge, huge difference, like, in your accent. So that's why if you have a really thick accent, moderate to thick, you're gonna see more of an improvement than if you came when you have, like, a moderate to light accent. And for those who are almost perfect, they have an almost perfect accent, they may or may not realize much of a difference, even though there is. It's very normal that it takes longer to make more progress once you get to the very end of mastering your accent. So if you have any questions about that, let me know, and I'm going to answer questions that I have here. So YouTube has priority. I'm gonna pull up that question there. I'm also going to change my TikTok because I realize it's like the wrong side. So hello everyone on TikTok. All right, so I have a question. How can I speak like a native? I've done a lot of videos on this, but ooh, let's see if I have a banner here. But the idea is, what's your first language, Danny Yang? Or Donnie, sorry, Donnie Yang. Um, wanna be careful in guessing 'cause I don't really know. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna pretend that your first language is, I don't know, maybe Yang? I was gonna say, is it Mandarin? Chinese. Okay. So, you have your current accent, make sure everyone sees, you have your current accent, and then you have the accent that you want. Maybe you like your current accent, but maybe you wanna sound more American or British or Australian, whatever. So, it's American. If you depending on your level, and depending on your pronunciation, but if you have a very thick Chinese accent, you have sounds in Chinese that you're using in your American English, like when you speak English. So, in order to start speaking like a native, you're going to have to identify the sounds that you are not pronouncing correctly with an American accent if you want the American accent. So, for example, a lot of Asian speakers, they might they might not distinguish the difference, they might not be able to hear the difference, they might not be able to pronounce the difference between, like, L and R, so they might be saying wrong instead of long. They might say right instead of like. They might say "hello" instead of "hello." So just by identifying, "Okay, what am I not saying like I should, or what sounds do I need to learn in, the American English," that in quotation marks, "that I need to learn and improve to substitute those Chinese sounds to become more American." So, what I do when I work with students, and you can do as well, is that you will look at your English and really listen for what's most distracting or what's really like what are the most foreign sounds that might make you difficult to be understood or that are just more distracting or strong. And then let's say you speak Spanish and you know that you don't really know how to properly pronounce j and yeah, then you master that. You do a bunch of different exercises, get feedback. This is why having an accent coach is really helpful. So you get feedback, ask your English coach, your accent reduction coach, am I saying it correctly? Yes. Practice, practice, practice. By practicing every day, if you can practice even just like 10, 15 minutes, that sound, you're going to recreate that muscle memory to be able to properly pronounce that word with an American accent rather than with your foreign accent. So if you work it on one sound, work on it, drill it, practice it, you'll be able to adopt that new sound in your target language, right? Your target accent, your target language. And then after you have that, that'll be like your new and improved accent. You look at it again, get someone to listen to it and say, sounds, what does not sound American in my accent right now? Whatever the most noticeable thing is, identify it and then practice it and just practice over and over. Like I know it's hard to say when I don't have a specific example, but like a lot of Chinese speakers, Asian speakers, or speakers of Asian languages, sorry, it will very often be the R and the L, and then they master it, and then they can master, let's say, the TH. Remember your tongue between your teeth. It's with, not with, right? It's these, not these, right? So it's identifying what does not sound American, finding out how to produce those sounds, practice, 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 make it muscle memory, make it a habit, and then you will adopt those new American sounds in your English. So I'm hoping that helps. I know it's very abstract, but I have a lot of videos. I have videos. Actually, I'm going to put a little ticker underneath here. I have playlists on common English mistakes, accent reduction tips, to improve your pronunciation where you repeat after me so you can master and practice that American/Canadian accent. But yeah, just practice and targeted practice, like targeted practice. If you need to work on the TH, do TH practice every day, 10 minutes a day. Get feedback, make sure you're pronouncing it right. Because if you're pronouncing it incorrectly, you are like practicing and making permanent something that's incorrect. All right, so thank you for the question. I am going to Get rid of that. Again, YouTube has priority for questions, but I will check TikTok to see if I have any. I see people coming in. Um, is anyone saying anything though? Hello, Michael. Hello, hello. I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to go to the next question. Um, um, mm, mm, mm. All right. Something I want to talk about as well. While I'm preparing this on my whiteboard, I'm going to be looking at the chat, looking for questions. Because if you have any questions, please ask. Hi, Diane. I'm happy to see you. I love it when I see people who I normally see, and I know you guys. I feel like I know you guys. All right. Um, Not yet, but I'm going to talk about the difference between like groups versus one-on-one, because I do one-on-one lessons, okay? Or sessions. I'll call them sessions. I don't like lessons because people think it's like a boring lesson where we like do grammar and stuff. It's not about grammar. It's about practice, whether it be conversation practice or um, accent coaching, right? Please can test a short introduction of myself. Michael, hmm, find me on Instagram. Accent American accent training with Jesse. If you send me a quick little introduction, voice message, I might, I might, no promise, but I might review it on this live. So if you find me on Instagram, Michael, yep, tr- uh, American accent training with Jess, Instagram, voice message. You can send me on. Um, all right, so we're gonna talk about groups versus one-on-ones. Okay, you guys really don't see, you guys don't have really good view TikTok. All right, groups versus one-on-ones. I do one-on-ones. Okay. I feel like it's more targeted, it's more personalized. I'm actually gonna put that right there. It is personalized. I have started, um, I've started like a form for people to express interest in groups. Okay. But I don't get a lot of people interested in groups. Um, there's not a lot of personalized feedback with groups. Okay. But if enough people want me to have pronunciation groups, I was thinking of doing pronunciation groups. Um, I can do it. But I there's less personalized feedback. Less personalized feedback means less like improvements, right? Um, Another thing too, and might be why people like groups, is that it's less expensive. Okay, I'm just gonna put one money sign here because it's less expensive. One-on-ones, because you're paying for people's time, right? Per hour is going to be more expensive. Okay, so these are some of the things to consider. If you want more personalized feedback, one-on-ones are best. However, if money's an issue, groups are probably going to be the best option for you. Um, and another thing too is if you are a beginner to advanced, okay, to intermediate, sorry, groups might be okay. Okay, they might be okay for a beginner to intermediate. However, I feel like a lot of English learners, once they get to like an advanced level where they've learned so much in English class, right? They pretty much know everything. They have specific gaps in their knowledge and specific problems that are not going to be fixed or addressed with groups. So that's another thing to consider. Do you want personalized feedback? One-on-ones. Are you more advanced? You have specific needs? Yes. Okay. Michael, my Instagram, I'm gonna write it on the board here. American accent training with Jess. Okay, it's at the bottom here. Oop. American Accent Training with Jess. That is my name on YouTube. That's my name on Instagram. It's different on TikTok and it's different on Facebook because I have business cards and I can't change it because I have business cards that I give. So, Michael, can you see that? American Accent Training with Jess. There's no there's no, uh, there's no spaces, but if you look it up, it should even show up. Um, Michael, can you confirm that you've seen it? American Accent Training with Jess. All right. You might actually be looking it up right now. So I'm just gonna see if you've sent me anything, and, I'm gonna check my comments. I see some comments on, oh, yes, it's okay. Perfect, thank you. Good. Do. I have comments on ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Next question. Is it Sahid? Like with the J would be an H sound. Is it possible to have an accent listening to English podcasts? Do you mean that the people speaking on the podcast have an accent, or do you mean you? Um, I'm going to write on the. I don't think should I write on the board here? Let me think about this. If you are talking about the person on the podcast, they might have an accent. I mean, everyone has an accent. They have a foreign accent, like they might have an American accent, they might have an Australian accent. So everyone has a certain accent. And something I say in my free mini course, my accent reduction framework mini course, again, link in the description of my YouTube video if you want to have that for free. But I say listen to your target language or your target language in your target accent. So, for example, if I am learning English and I want to have more of an American accent, I need to make sure that I listen to the American accent all the time. If I'm listening to music, if I'm listening to, or if I'm watching the TV, if I'm watching YouTube videos, if I'm listening to podcasts, I want to make sure that I'm listening to the correct accent because the more you listen to it, the more your ear will be able to hear different things and the more you'll be able to practice and repeat after the person. If you are talking about yourself, is it possible to have an accent? You will have an accent until you fix it. Don't fix it. I don't want to be careful with fix it until you change it because naturally whatever language you speak as your first language, you're going to transfer those sounds from your language to American English or to English if there are no direct, like, there's no direct correlation because there are sounds that exist in English, in the American accent, and then there are sounds that exist only in your language. And there's some that are both. So if you both have the same languages, you'll transfer those sounds over to English, but the ones that don't have an equivalent in English in, your accent the accent that you want, you have to learn it. So I wish it happened naturally, but you have to practice. So it's possible to still have an accent even if you listen to Americans. But you have a good starting point to improve faster because you have more exposure. All right, Michael, I'm going to see if you have left me a message. Da, da, da. Okay, I see it. Okay. All right, Michael, I see that you sent me a message. Feel free to send me a voice message introducing yourself. So I'll say, hey there. Um, you can send me a voice message introducing yourself. Whatever you're comfortable everyone hearing, because I'll be playing it here. Good. So when I see it, I'll listen to it. And I am looking at your Okay, I can't see much. Um, mm, are you in Europe? Looks very European, but I don't know. Yes, my Instagram is I'm sorry, American accent training with Jess. Good. I'm gonna go to the next question, and then I will see if there are any other, any other questions coming up. Um, all right, something I want to talk about. Um, AI, right? Artificial intelligence. It's pretty popular, and there are a lot of people that are using AI to improve their English. So, I'm going to talk about the difference between talking with AI bots versus talking with, one on one with a tutor, an English coach. So, AI bot versus uh, one on one ones. And I'm going to put a little person here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, there we go. We have AI bot versus one on ones. Conversation practice. Okay. Um, chatting with AI bots. Remember, I have the link to the app that I use to practice languages versus one-on-one conversation practice with it should be an English coach, an English coach or tutor. Um, so the difference is that AI bots are less expensive. Okay. One-on-ones, you're paying for people's time, so of course it's going to cost more money. Okay. Another thing is AI bots. They are available 24/7. Uh, okay, and then the coach is going to be available, there's limited time spots, limited times that you can practice. So there are a lot of benefits. AI bots, if you use the program that I have shared, if you put on the feedback function and you want feedback, they will correct you every time you make a mistake, which for one-on-ones with an English coach, know that not every English coach or teacher is the same. I know a lot of people who have English lessons, but they never know if they're pronouncing things correctly or not. When I work with students, especially when it's working on conversation, I will give feedback at the end of the lesson, and we will look at the different mistakes that were made. So that's something to know as well. AI bot, you can every day. You can see them every day. Usually it's one price for the month or 3 months or whatever you pay, where this you're paying by hour. So of course it's expensive. It's nice to have a personal touch. It's nice to have real people to talk to. But if you really want to improve your English faster, you can chat with an AI bot every day if you wanted to. Um, so something to just consider. Again, link the link will be down in the description of my YouTube video if you want to either check out the AI bot that I use and or if you are interested in one-on-ones. So I will check quickly what's going on here. I have some questions on TikTok. Uh, hi, hello. All right. I have a B1 level in English, but I can't improve my English. My question for you would be, do you practice every day? Because if you practice every day, you're going to improve. Also, something to consider. I'm just going to get rid of this. Also, something to consider is when we learn a language in the beginning, we improve really quickly. And then there is this intermediate plateau, which I don't remember if it's at B1, B2. It feels like you're not really improving because it's like really, really, really slow. And then you start kind of picking up again. I know when I've learned other languages, the intermediate plateau was really frustrating because it felt like I was working really hard, but there was not a lot of, results. All right. So, mm, mm, um, oh, Michael, I do not see a voice message. All right. So I said, Michael, you could send me a voice message introducing yourself. I do not see a voice message, so I cannot review it on this live. And I do not review voice messages privately, unless it's a paid thing. All right. Hi, Victor. Good. Next, if you have any questions, YouTube, tell me where you're watching from. I love seeing where people are from because they're from all over the world. Next, I want to talk about something, but first, I'm going to do a quick little break. So, hey there, do you enjoy my videos and find them helpful? If so, I would like to invite you to support my channel financially. This allows me to continue to make content and help English learners. One of the ways that you can support me is by joining my Patreon as a paid member. And hey, if you have a product, course, or service that you would like me to create to help you improve your pronunciation and reduce your foreign accent, I would love for you to click the link down in the description where there will be a short survey letting you tell me what I can make for you to help you improve your English. Anyways, let's get back to the video. All right. Thank you for staying through the little ad break. Next, we're going to be talking about something really exciting. I'm going to share with you guys my screen. I should talk a little bit slower because I have something that I think a lot of people might enjoy. So if you speak English and you would like to improve your English and sound more American, more specifically, if you have how do I say this? If you have an intermediate to advanced level in English, you've mastered the individual sounds of American English for the most part, maybe not perfect, but for the most part, but something still feels off, not correct. Something still feels off when you speak. Or if you don't quite sound like a native speaker yet, let's fix that. So, as you can see on my screen here, I'm launching a beta program in September. This is the time I want to start to help you master stress, rhythm, and reductions so you can speak English in a way that flows naturally and confidently. So, this is the wait list. The link is down in the description of my YouTube video. And what we plan on going through include the hidden rules of connection and linking in English that will make your speech sound more smooth or smoother. Then we will talk about mastering stress and reductions because this is the key to sounding natural. We will also have at least one Zoom practice and feedback session to fine tune your pronunciation. So, after you've learned these things, we will jump on a group Zoom call and I will give you feedback to help you master what we've learned. Then we will talk about different secret rules of native like speech so that you'll know these secret rules. And these are rules that I don't think teachers teach in school. So this is supposed to be a 4-week program, and this is what it's going to look like. Again, it's subject to change. And this is a beta program, meaning that I'm going to be trying this program out. This is going to be the first time I'm going to launch it, which means that the price is extremely low. Why is it low? As I mentioned, it's a beta program. It means that I'm still testing, refining, and improving the content and the lessons. And in exchange for a low price, I will need your feedback. So at the end of the lesson or during the lessons, like the 4 weeks, it might be 6, you can tell me, Jesse, I feel like this is missing, Or Jesse, I don't feel like I learned this and I want to learn this. Or Jesse, I liked this, but I would change this. I really need your feedback to know how I can really perfect a program and make it perfect for you and other English learners. So that's why it will be at the lowest price it will ever be. So if you are interested in doing this in September with me in exchange for feedback, you can join this wait list. This form is available in the description of this YouTube video. And for anyone who's on the list, it will only be $27 for I'm going to say the first 30 people. Then after that, it will go up to $39 for the next 20 people. And then the beta program will launch and it will be about $49. Um, as we go through this, I will update the course. I will create more resources, more, practice sheets, stuff like that. So it's kind of a bare bone program, but any upgrades, any new material will be free for you guys in this program. Then once I have finished the program, I might launch it at this is subject to change, but I might launch it at $59 or more. And then after launch week, probably $99 or more, probably over $100. So if you want to get it for $27 in exchange for feedback, sign up, get your name on this list. Again, it's in the description of this video. So check it out. All right, I'm going to see if we have any more questions before I move on. And again, join the wait list if you're interested. So someone said AI versus tutor, who wins? I think that's AI speaking to me. They can both work well together. So it's whatever is best for you. All right. Now, next, what am I going to share with you guys about? I'm going to check the comments. I see 3 questions. Okay. Rafa says, "Hi, I would like to say that you have been doing a magnificent job helping us with our American accents. Thank you. That's really kind. Second, I totally agree with you when it comes to our learning process. It's a long journey. Yes, it is. It's a long journey. I'm watching from Venezuela. Hola, de Canada. I am an advanced English speaker, but I'm looking forward to improving my accent because I truly believe that when you have a clear accent, you're likely to be understood. This is correct. If you want to join my Patreon, I do have extra like perks. Um, Also, you speak Spanish. I did a live a few weeks ago with a Spanish speaker who became an American accent coach and has perfect American English. So you should check it out. All right. By the way, I think September is too far away from now. Yeah, I am very limited in my time. You should accelerate that date, maybe June or July. Hmm. Hmm. If if I have this is a challenge. If I have at least 50 people on my list, so sign up on that wait list. If I have over 50 people on that list, I may start earlier, but we'll see. So thank you, Rafa. Gracias. Thank you. All right. Any questions here? Hello from Azerbaijan. Oh my goodness. I love it when there's country names that I haven't seen before. From Turkey. Cool. Cool, cool. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And now I'm going to be comparing. Mm, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to prepare my whiteboard. So if you have any questions while I'm preparing my whiteboard, I will answer them. There we go. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Again, I should probably I don't have a message here, but in the description there's like the sign up list for the wait list. There's Patreon too if you wanna check out my Patreon. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you around my content. So Eric says, "Do you come from Quebec?" So are you from Quebec? I know you guys say "do you" in French, or you're told that in English class, but are you from Quebec? No, but I live in Quebec, in the province of Quebec. I'm from Saskatchewan. So Eric, I think you speak French as a first language, because of your name, Eric. Eric. All right, so let's talk about English sessions. Um, I'm gonna slowly prepare my whiteboard, and I'm watching the comments. Okay, Eric, cool. Um, La belle province. It's a very, it's a very lovely province. How is your English, Eric? Genre, vous avez quel niveau en anglais? Um, sorry, my French, I'm really embarrassed about it. All right, English sessions, right? So I have English sessions, one-on-one. OK, mais il faut commencer quelque part. Il faut être débutant avant plus. All right, so English sessions. When people have English sessions with me, you can either get a package, multiple sessions, which is less expensive, or you can use my Calendly link, and then that is more expensive. Um, for English sessions, you kind of have two options. In the past, I have done conversation practice, okay, which I still do, conversation practice. And then there is accent reduction work or accent coaching. Let's call it that. And there's a little bit of a difference. Okay. So when we look at conversation practice, I always worry that I misspell it when I try to do it fast. With conversation practice, we basically, as it says, we are just speaking English, practicing English. And then if there are major pronunciation issues or things that you would like me to listen for, I will help you with, right? And at the end of each lesson, there's feedback. Okay. But the feedback is more on English mistakes and major, major, I say major, and major pronunciation issues. Okay. Pronunciation. So that's the focus. So as you can see here with conversation practice with me, I give you feedback. At the end of every lesson, I will write down different English mistakes that you've made. Because usually we make the same kind of mistakes. At first, you may not know what the mistake is, and that's okay. But as we do this more and more, you'll be able to see, oh, that's the mistake. I know what it is. Then, as we continue more and more, you'll be able to correct your own mistakes, and your mistakes will get fewer and fewer. And I will correct major pronunciation issues. It's basically just to help you get more confident, practice your conversation, and whatnot. Whereas accent coaching, I do give feedback, but there is a huge, huge, huge focus on pronunciation because the goal of accent coaching is to improve your pronunciation. It's more rigid in the sense that we will learn a sound, focus on a sound, do different drills in words, in sentences, in phrases, and we really focus on a sound at a time until you've mastered it. You go home, you practice, and then we will work on a new sound so that we slowly improve and perfect your accent. And then English mistakes, I bring them up once in a while. So sometimes it's not a priority, but if I hear certain mistakes that come up over and over, or if they're really distracting, I will bring them up because I do want you to improve your English as well. Because if you have a perfect accent, but you make a lot of grammar mistakes, it's still going to feel problematic, and you may not you may not like to always be asked where you're from, even if your accent is like almost perfect. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I'm just going to check my questions here. I've sent my presentation on Instagram. Feel free to respond to me after the live. Like I said, I don't do one-on-one free stuff, but I can review it on here publicly. Is that okay if I review it publicly on here? And Moe says, how can we communicate with you? If you'd like to book a lesson, American accent training with Jess.com, and it'll say all the different kind of things that you may be interested in. If you're wanting to communicate with me for business reasons to improve your English, you can definitely check there. You can join my email list. I keep you guys updated on new, opportunities and things going on that might help you improve your English. Good. I'm going to check really quickly, see if Michael had said anything. Hum, Donnez-vous des cours en privé? Oui. C'est une bonne question parce que je j'accepte pas beaucoup de gens actuellement, puis souvent, c'est avec les gens qui sont déjà capables de parler en anglais. Parce que, est-ce que je bonne question. Si tu veux m'envoyer un message sur Instagram, hem, on peut discuter ça, mais c'est sûr que si tu veux améliorer ton anglais, pratiquer ton anglais, ça va être pas mal tout en anglais ce qu'on fait ensemble. Mais, je vais écrire, pardon mon accent là, j'ai besoin de travailler mon accent en français. Je vais écrire c'est quoi mon Instagram? Je devrais avoir un papier pour ne pas toujours avoir besoin de d'écrire. Mais c'est American Accent Training with Jess. Fait que c'est, American Accent Training with Jess. C'est sur Instagram. Aussi, c'est la même chose sur, YouTube, mais pour me contacter, c'est plus Instagram avec ça. Fait que, c'est ça. C'est ça. And if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Puis c'est vraiment des sessions 1 à 1. Puis, on peut soit communiquer, genre, juste pratiquer la conversation ou soit travailler le, mmh, réduction d'accent, I guess. Cool. À tantôt sur Instagram. Cool. Next, what else do I wanna talk about? What else do you guys wanna talk about? Ask me if you have any questions. Um, mm, mm, mm. What else? What else? Hello, hello on TikTok. I feel like I didn't answer every question that I wanted to. Okay, we see American accent training. Hello, oh, that's cool, Christopher. That's a really cool way of spelling your name. So American accent training with Jess. Instagram. It's like a square Pokemon ball. Um, oh yeah, there's something I wanted to share as well. You're welcome. I'm good, thank you. Okay. Next, point of view. You make grammatical mistakes in English and you want to improve your accent. What should you do? So you have grammatical mistakes, you have your accent. What should you do? Do you want to fix both? Right? or do you want to fix one? You have to decide. I would say if you really want to work on your conversational skills, you can book a one-on-one or, hire a different accent coach, whatever, and or accent coach, English coach, and practice your English and make sure they give you feedback. Like I mentioned, there are a lot of teachers and tutors and coaches that do not give feedback. At the end of every lesson, I make sure to give a list of mistakes and then we correct them together. And you can also work on your accent. Like if you have a very thick accent, you can work on the different sounds. However, if you want to, let's say let's say you want to come see me and you want to be as efficient as possible and you know that you want to improve your accent and almost perfect it, I would say do the accent coaching and then use an AI bot on the side to chat with. Because if you make a lot of grammatical mistakes, I could tell you about them, but if you practice with the AI bot every day, you're going to get feedback every day and you'll start to self-correct yourself. So I would say if you want to use AI and um, an accent coach is going to be able to help you with your accent. And then the AI bot is going to help you with your common mistakes. And like I said, when I work with people with their accent coaching, I will give them feedback on common mistakes that they make because with AI, you can get feedback on mistakes when you chat, like if you have a chat bot. But with, improving your accent, there are apps and AI apps, but I don't think they're that great, to be honest. So the AI bot language partner link is down below. So I would say use the app, practice every day because it's going to be a lot less expensive to practice with an app every day than it is to practice with an English speaker, a tutor, a coach. So talk with that bot, turn on the feedback function, and then get get coaching for your AI. So Moe says, please recommend one AI bot. I don't know about TikTok. On YouTube, I do have the link down in the description. If you check out any of my videos on YouTube, American Accent Coaching or American Accent Training with Jess, on almost any video, any new video, there will be the language app, the AI bot. If not, I think if you go to TikTok and you go to my link in bio, I think there might be AI language partner. I don't really check my see if my links are up to date there. All right. Um, I am pretty much finished with what I wanted to share today. So if you have any questions, if you want to say hello or whatever, feel free. Now is the time. And again, if you want to join the waitlist, master the rhythm, stress, and flow of English, sign up, right? $27 instead of it's going to be over $100 eventually. So check it out, sign up. And if I have over 50 people by June, July, I might start earlier, but no promise. No promises, but that it could be very interesting. All right. Ooh, hello. Hello. I'm glad you're here. You live in Quebec, I believe, if I remember that correctly. Good. It's nice to see you. I'm actually just finishing the live if nobody else has any questions. And again, just a quick little shout out if you want, group access to me, you can join my Patreon. By joining my Patreon, you help me cover a part of the costs of being a YouTuber and continuing my training. And you also allow me to create more free YouTube videos. So thank you to everyone who supports me. And if you're live, again, ask any questions. If not, I'm going to leave in a minute or two. So I'll see if I have any questions on TikTok. So yeah, if you want to communicate with me, if it's to be friendly, no thank you. If it's for professional reasons to improve your English, feel free. to contact me on Instagram, which is American Accent Training with Jess. Um, don't you have super thanks? No. So super thanks is a way to support YouTubers and you can send like money. I need I don't know if I can show you in my back office, but I only have 2,007 hours of watched videos over the past year. So I need to have at least 3,000 hours watched for my YouTube, and I don't have enough watch hours. So my YouTube channel is not monetized. Yeah, so it's not monetized, but once it is monetized, I will be able to have super thanks, which I look forward to because they're fun. They're fun. All right. Any questions here? No, no more questions. All right. Thank you for coming, everybody. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. Join the wait list if you want to perfect your accent and pronunciation. And I am going to end the stream, and there should be videos popping up here. So take care and thanks for coming. Bye.